All right, back at it with another one. Yeah, I just had to do a recording on podcast. I saw from Free Podcast Tools, and he was saying some very interesting stuff. And I think that's one thing when you talk about it long term, most people just don't want to be a part of the podcasting thing. So it can be long term if you do it right and have different subject matters, and you just do what you do. Most people, they just gonna come in there and just be a part of. You can have guests, you can have big guests, and they'll come through, and you see your typical darker style Shure microphone, the popular one you see on YouTube. It's very a C class microphone. Shouts out to Audio Haze for that. And I watch his channel a lot, and I like the guys that's in that little field. They're critics, and they done seen the ins and outs of that, and then voiceover artists and actors and things like that. And I see what they used to do, and they say this all the time. Most people, they get into stuff, they think there's a perfect microphone. Well, technically it's not. You really got to look at what your interest is. Just like on YouTube is based off interest. They got subjects as how to do, you're going to blow up. And I saw this from Dark Corner Studios, and they said that you're going to be that guy. It's very a niche title. See, I don't like the modern setup channel styles. I really don't. I remember when they used to have guru comedy and all this other stuff. It was in its paces, but nowadays it's just terrible. The way they do things now, YouTube is just not conducive. Like, you got to be that person. Entertainment doesn't kill YouTube. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Entertainment is cool. If I want to be entertained, I will not be on YouTube. I would rather go to Netflix or something on Roku, one of those channels, one of those shows, those TV shows. That's when I want to be entertained. Or go outside and look at somebody doing wild stuff, and especially in sports. That's when I'm entertained. Not this bullshit on YouTube. YouTube, I just want to learn something about, not just about tech, but other things about, the mechanical stuff and engineering stuff. That's why I'll be looking at a lot of other stuff besides tech. But the actual stuff, how money works, financial shit, I look for those channels. 95% of the time, I ain't looking at this incel content. I really don't, because most of it's just bullshit. It's the same shit I've seen 15, 10 years ago that's not going anywhere. I'll speak on it about more of it tomorrow, because this is one of the things that I'm talking about. Why I love this type of content. Some people just like it, and I can't change people who they are, and especially on YouTube. And I think people that are content creators on here should understand that most people are fickle. Like I said, they love circles, they love bullshit, and this is what they do. A lot of them just can't help it. I've just learned to accept it when I started my content again from last year, and this has been a year since I've done it. And this is something I look at, why people in the algorithm. I never trust the algorithm. It's biased. They pick and choose who's going to be successful. I ain't trying to be successful on this shit. This shit is nothing to me. This shit is what it is. People get views, and when you're outside, nobody's not going to listen to you in a live stream. So you might as well pre-record. So when I started pre-recording, I would say about January, and I've been doing it lately since January, and now I'm enjoying it. It may not get a ton of recommendations. I don't care, but if y'all want to share it or whatever on Discord, that's fine. That's cool. But it doesn't matter. It's going to get based off the title what I put it on. But like I said, you got to be interested, like I said in that last recording. And I think it helps, and it helps people to look at where people are today. So some people are going to look at it for certain spoken word and things like that. So you got to be very interested nowadays, and people got to fuck with you long term. So yes, I'm a evergreen content creator on this side of YouTube. I do a little fuckery, but I don't do it as much. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of channel. I wish I was, but I could have. I said, nah. I did it a few times on live streams, but after that, I'm just more evergreen, because I have real content, and then I separate the two. But if I do another channel, it'll be like the tech stuff. That's what I'm into mostly. That's mainly it. And then I talk about current events and politics. It ain't really much on YouTube that I want to deal with. But if I talk about it as enough, you get the point. So you see this a lot. So when you got guys talking about certain things and how to run a studio or a podcast or whatever, it's pretty simple when you have a subject matter. All the other stuff come later. You know, people say rent a studio and all that. I ain't renting shit. I'm not renting a damn thing from nobody because it's not even worth it. Most people don't even want to do that. They just want to be outside and they want to fuck around and love ambient noise. That's most people. If they want a studio, they can't handle quietness. And shouts out to Mike Delgadio, Booth Junkies, for saying that. I watched one of his old videos. When he said that shit, that's very true. Most people cannot handle that. They hate that. They don't like to be isolated like that. And the reason they don't like that, it is what it is. They show their hand every fucking time. Just like on live streams, they can't handle certain situations. I stopped messing with certain individuals and just do this, and it's going to work. And I think when you live stream, it does take a lot out of you. And I've noticed that when I used to do those long live streams last year, it took a lot out of me. I slept okay, but it takes a lot of energy. But you end up sleeping. You got to pick your sleep back up and do it again. I used to do that. I used to go 3P to streams. I used to go back to back every stream every week. Last year was conducive. I took advantage. To be fair, I took advantage in the fall, probably the beginning of winter of December, and that was it. This year it's flat. It's flat. I'm just gonna tell you right. It's flat. April is okay because I don't know what May is gonna be like, but it's gonna be flat. The first 3 months was flat of this year, and it was terrible. And I'm glad March showed that, and people showed their hand. And April is gonna be one of months. It's gonna be very interesting. It's an interesting month. April's gonna be an interesting month, but May is gonna be very interesting because you see what's going on. But in sports, it's looking good. The NBA is looking good as always. So how I switch the subject matter, and you know what I'm saying. But yeah, and I know today I think the Sixers is playing the Raptors at 2 p.m. Mavericks play at 4:30. So the Hawks beat the Heat last night. I told you that may go 7. I told you that may go 7. The Celtics is 2-0. Not surprised. Nets are terrible. They can be swept anytime. I don't know if they're gonna get swept, but it's a possibility. If Kevin Durant don't win this game, yeah, they're getting swept because I don't trust the Nets. The Bucks and the Bulls, that's gonna be a good series. That may go to 6. That may go to 6 or 5, or one of the two. The Suns, that's gonna go 5 games. They're gonna beat the Pelicans. They should beat the Pelicans. Pelicans ain't that good. They just got one good game, and that may go 5 games. So yeah, man, like the NBA is in its paces, and I'm impressed. Golden State's gonna, yeah, they may sweep the Nuggets if they ain't careful. They ain't got Jamal Murray. Yeah, they're gonna sweep the Nuggets. They're gonna get swept. Once they get swept, it's over. See, Golden State is a dangerous team. The Grizzlies 2-1. That may go 5 or 6 games. A lot of people said that's gonna go 7. No, that's gonna go 6 games because I picked the Grizzlies beat my Timberwolves. I like the Timberwolves, but the teams I like in the West is the Mavericks and the Timberwolves right now. My actual Western Conference team I really like is the Spurs. They're not in it, so I got 2 choices. That's how I look at the playoffs in the NBA. I'm a basketball head. I've always been like that for years, and I can tell you that the Grizzlies is a better team, but they're inexperienced as well. The Mavericks is experienced. They can go further. That can be 6 or 7 games. The Jazz is good, but they had their chances. They keep blowing it. So yeah, man, like a lot of that stuff, man, it is what it is. It's just on subject matter. What I was responding to, what I said to old boy on the pre-record. You got to be interesting, man, because interesting topics come around. That's what my channel is very diverse. So I talk about the dark history stuff. That was in the beginning of YouTube, and I still co-sign that. But what I do is I talk about current events and politics underneath it. Now, the philosophy aspect, how the world is basically I'm a current events channel. That's what I do. And I talk about extra shit. And then I talk what's current in mainstream, underground, whatever, the latest stuff here, and my view. That's what this channel is about. And basically I talk about other shit too, the conscious shit and what works and how you look at people a certain way. You just look at the things that you see. Some people look at it like you're here. So basically what I'm saying is, in so many words, you have so many times that people going to look at it like that's just how it is in so many words of content, of course. So when I look at it is most people are trying to find out which niche, or I wouldn't say market, but subjects they could be on YouTube. Now, YouTube is daunting. Now, I've been on here for like at least 10 years on this second channel. Been on YouTube for 15 years and understand that things change. Things change and it matters for certain people. I'm not really surprised what's going on. A lot of people just going to be in this position and trying to say this stuff don't really matter, but it matters to your subscribers and certain audience that mess with you long term. See, I can leave this and then stuff still grows. I'm living testament of that from 2015, from 2020, and I keep saying is it's possible. You get new, younger people every day. I just saw a college kid in Kennesaw State got pulled over yesterday. Oh, he got pulled over something small, probably some bullshit. But it matters sometimes. When you see this all the time, you see this whenever you see it. And I'm about to hop off and go outside for a minute. But like I said, like we see this a lot. And I'm not saying anything different. It's just people gonna mess with you long term. Are they gonna mess with you long term enough? So it matters who you are on your content or basically what your subject matter is. Yes, I talk about a lot of things. I've talked about the dark history stuff, like the races and all that. And shouts out to the brother, man. Like he has a great website and it brings up all the information these dudes talk about. And that's why I stayed in these certain spaces so long. I'm not respected like that, but I'm popular in smaller spaces. They remember my stuff from way back. And that stuff is great content. Yes, I talked about all this stuff. I talked about China with the dark plate statues, the bones, the anthropology, the Olmecs. I talked about all that. I damn near talked about it. You can see the playlist. It don't get no love like it normally does, but it is what it is. But shouts out to the brother with this website, man. He broke it down, talked about the Moors a little bit. That's about all that shit. The relics. Y'all ain't got nothing on me on this. I got a whole website I support. I've been supporting that thing for like what 10, 12 years. I mean 10 years. That shit is going strong, man. Ain't nobody going nowhere. A lot of said they're gonna get rid. No, they ain't. They don't want no bullshit. As long as the internet exists, it exists. It's just information. People gonna take your shit and they gonna hold that shit. They ain't forgot about that. They ain't forgot about that. They ain't forgot about that long term. So what is people talking about? So that's what I'm saying. But you know, you gotta be interested and people like your content. It's gonna take you even further. So, like I said, that's all I got. But I'm just saying, like, to do this, it takes you a minute. And I realize I've been doing this for a long time, but then I'm adjusting what I'm doing as a content creator. So I'm making adjustments what I'm doing. So did 2 recordings. I did this like what did I did it Monday? Hold on. Did I do this Monday? I believe I did some recordings Monday. I'm looking at my content as what I did. Yes, I did it Monday. I did it Monday and it was very fun. It was very fun. And I did that and I said, you know, I did a couple of recordings. I did like 1, 2, 3, 4 recordings. I did 4 recordings and I did okay. And it's just what it is, man. Like you got to see for what it is. So with that, I'm signing off. And that's all I got. But you know, just keep doing y'all thing, do y'all content, and just be consistent with it, and just be very interesting with the subject matter. We're going to talk about the glorified echo chambers, what killed the internet. So with that, I want to say peace.